just got to remember this is not. Well, welcome to the Christian Authors on Tour TV show. This is one of your co-hosts, Lynn Pender, and I have another co-host here with me.
You know how we do.
It's none other than Leroy McKenzie Jr. Hello, Leroy.
Did you miss me? I think Martin said that, right?
Yes, we did. It's so good to have both you and Pastor Kevin Wayne Johnson back. Absolutely. Won't you talk a little bit about some of your travels and where you've been?
Well, the last couple of months have just been busy, to say the least, but a good busy.
Okay.
A good busy. I've had to, or I've gone down to North Carolina. Place called Leland, North Carolina, which is outside of, not too far outside of Raleigh. It's maybe like a couple hours outside of Raleigh, Charlotte, that area.
They're being hit right now.
Yeah, they actually were, and I went down there because one of my clients was having her book launch.
Okay.
So of course, last weekend when that hit, I'm calling. Wanted to make sure that everything was good with her family, and I even have a couple of friends that live in that Raleigh, Charlotte area too. So just checking on them, making sure that everything is okay, and they've had flooding, but nothing major, because they are a little outside of that. Okay. I guess the major areas that got hit, bad, really bad down there. So, so our prayers, of course, go out to everybody that's down that's affected in that southern area. Yes. So I was down there, and then went to Savannah, Georgia, which is going to be one of our spots, I believe, next year on the tour.
Yes.
So was down in Savannah for the Christian Business Owners Summit. Which was really, really excellent. Great opportunity to meet some great individuals, like-minded individuals. Had panel discussions, speakers, just talking about being a Christian business entrepreneur, Christian business owner. So, doing a whole lot of, going down, doing that, talking about all the great things that are going on. So, and still got, I have 2 more months to go. This October's coming up, and then a little bit of November. And we're closing out the year, trying to finish strong.
I know, and we are gearing up for our event in October.
Absolutely.
So earlier this year in April, we did the Men of Christian Authors on Tour, and you were one of the featured authors.
Absolutely,
yes.
Absolutely, loved it. So I can't wait for the ladies to have their part too.
Yeah, so save the date. It's October the 14th. It's a Sunday, but it's a Sunday evening. So after church, it's from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Quality Inn in Woodlawn, Maryland. We have 10, counting myself, but it's 9 ladies of Christian Authors on Tour that we're featuring. And our MC for that evening is Andrea Freeman Green.
Absolutely.
And we have a host of ladies. We have Jocelyn Whitfield. We have Catherine Smith. We have Pastor Pam Hammock. We have I'm trying to remember all of them off the top of my head, but we have just a host of dynamic France Neptune women authors you definitely don't want to miss. Come on out. And if you want more information, if you want to see the list of all of the authors who are participating, feel free to visit www.christianauthorsontour.com. You can also go to Facebook. We actually have a Introducing the Ladies of Christian Authors on Tour Facebook invite. So if you did a search, you can find it there. We also have a Christian Authors on Tour Facebook group page. I think Facebook should pay us.
I know, right?
We are promoting them. But
All about that.
But listen, I love Facebook. So Facebook, if you're watching, thank you, because it's just like one of those platforms, particularly
Absolutely.
for Christian authors.
Yeah.
And that's actually how I found our guest for today
Yes.
on Facebook.
Facebook.
And so it's just a wonderful platform that you can use both personally and professionally. But just want to encourage you, if you're interested in coming out on October 14th, it is absolutely free. Right?
See? So there's no excuses as to why you can't attend. It's a Sunday evening, so you're already going to have gone to church, got your word and everything like that. So just come on out, have an even great time, meet some great authors that are doing some great things, some great phenomenal women that are just going to blow your mind with their with the discussions that I know that they're going to be having that evening. All of those things. It is just going to be a phenomenal event.
And then the other thing, we always at all of our literary events, we always like to be a blessing to the community that we are hosting the event in. And so we are encouraging people who come out to attend this event. We are supporting Praising Through Recovery, the Covered Bridge Transitional Home. And we are asking for you to bring some donated items, anything that you think a homeless woman might need who's in transition. So it could be paper towels for the house that they're living in, tissue paper, it could be shampoo, conditioner, sanitary napkins, hand sanitizer. There's a wish list, and you can also find that if you go to www.praisingthroughrecovery.org. That's www.praisingthroughrecovery.org. You can click on the tab that says wish list, and you can actually scroll down and see some of the different items that you can actually bring with you on October 14th to donate, and we're going to distribute it to that particular organization. So,
yeah, and that's an awesome thing, and that's something very special and something near and dear. And I think that the Christian Authors on Tour, we take really to heart to be able to, because it is about being of service, not only pouring into others with with our messages from with our books and our messages and everything like that, but also being able to physically pour into other people's lives by assisting them and being able to give them items and things that they might not have had otherwise.
Absolutely. And like you said, it's going to be a host of phenomenal Christian women authors, including Tracy Lydia Garner, including Deborah Sally, just some wonderful authors, and just want you to come out and support them. And so you can again visit that website, www.christianauthorsontour.com, to get more information, or you can give us a call at 800-929-1418. We're heading towards the end of September. Tomorrow is actually the last day of fall.
I know,
the last day of summer. And fall is starting tomorrow, going into fall. But we're still celebrating the month of September.
Absolutely.
And we have an author that we're spotlighting, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
For those that aren't aware, the Christian Authors on Tour has a calendar of authors that we spotlight. There's each month there's a different author that is highlighted, spotlighted for their particular mission, their message, and the book that they have out. So you can learn just a little bit more about some of the authors of the Christian Authors on Tour. It's a great memorabilia now, since we're going into the end of September now. But it's a great way, keepsake, and just a great way to learn a little bit more about these great authors doing some phenomenal things. But this month for September, our featured author is Dr. Cecilia B. Dennery. Yes. I hope I'm saying that name right.
You are.
But Dr. Dennery actually is an author, speaker, and a Bible scholar. Yes. She actually is an ordained elder, author, and gifted communicator of God's Word, and dedicated student of the Bible for over 30 years. Wow. Dr. Dennery has a profound grasp of the Word, continued with the God-given ability to explain deep deep biblical truth with clarity and simplicity.
Yeah.
She designs her own book covers and in her spare time serves as the editor for aspiring authors and writers. Dr. Demery enjoys ringing handbells and sign language interpretations, which is really great.
It is.
Yeah. She's a sought-after speaker for conferences as well as other church events. So if you want to contact her for speaking engagements and other things like that, you can actually go to www.doctrine101.com. That's www.doctrine101.com for Dr. Denery.
Yes, and she is such a fireball. She is a fireball, and we have a quiet thunder here with us.
I know, right?
Quiet thunder.
Absolutely.
Here with us this morning.
So. But we want to really get into this gentleman because I'm reading about some of the stuff and I'm interested in the book, so y'all gonna have to wait, and I know y'all gonna want this book too. So, but who we have here today with us, just to introduce everybody for those that may not know him and those who will get to know him. Yeah. This is Sergeant First Class Glenn W. Powell. Yeah. He is a native of Toledo, Ohio. He enlisted into the United States Army in 1982 and retired in 2002. So thank you for your service, first of all.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. During his military career, he served as a heavy vehicle driver, a squad leader, and non-commissioned officer. In September of 1991, Sergeant First Class Powell joined the George H.W. Bush White House as a chauffeur. In 1992, was promoted to the transportation coordinator for the White House Press Corps, serving in the Clinton administration. In December of 95, he assumed the duties of transportation supervisor for Air Force One. That's Air Force One, y'all. That's the big one. Yeah, that's the big one. In January 2001, his service under President George W. Bush, Sergeant First Class Powell transferred to the White House Military Office Customer Support and Organizational Development, where he served as duty director. Sergeant First Class Powell retired with distinction from the military in 2014. He received numerous awards and decorations throughout his service, including the meritorious, I say that right? Service Medal, the Joint Service Achievement Medal, and the United States Army Achievement Medal with 4 oak leaf clusters. He received U.S. service ribbons for both domestic and overseas service. Glenn and Rhonda Holloway Powell have been married for over 25 years. Let me give you a hand for that. Over 25 years.
Yes.
And here.
Exactly. She absolutely. Yes. They have 3 sons, Darius, Warren, and Glenn II. They reside in Virginia. So we want to welcome Sergeant First Class Glenn W. Powell, sir. Thank you for coming on to the show. We want to show our appreciation for you taking the time out of your busy schedule to be able to come and talk to us about your I call it your mission, your message, and your movement.
Absolutely,
it's all those things. So we appreciate you coming out, and again, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And we want to just start by just having you. I know I read the bio. They say resume, but I know I read the bio. But what I want you to start with is just something simple by telling our audience something that they would not know from the bio about you, just about you.
The one thing that they wouldn't know is that I do love Twizzlers. That's my favorite.
That is cool. I love that. I love that. That is awesome.
I love it.
So y'all hear that? Y'all see him out of the next book sign. Yes. Twizzlers, y'all will be right in there.
So talk to us a little bit about your book. This is an interesting
yes.
interesting book. It's my last baggage call aboard Air Force One.
Yes.
So, how did you even get to that title? That title, in and of itself,
yeah.
is a story right there.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
What it is, a baggage call is what you do when you're going out and when you're traveling.
Yes.
You end up collecting the bags from the hotel.
Okay.
And so what you set the time and say, hey, I want all the bags to be outside the room at a certain time.
Yeah.
Actually, my wife came up with that title.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And so when you set the time, people set their bags out, and then you go by and pick up the luggage and any gifts and anything like that.
Yeah.
That's where we came up with that title, My Last Baggage Call. Because it was my last baggage call aboard Air Force One.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
And so you retire, but we know retirement. Most people I know who said they retired, like Pastor Kevin Wayne Johnson, for example.
Right.
They're not really retired.
Retired.
He's still working. Matter of fact, you were working last weekend at the Congressional Black Caucus.
Yes, I was.
You want to tell us a little bit about your time there?
That was great. I had a real great time. Met some other great authors.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Well, I sold a few books and made some great connections.
Absolutely.
Yes, I really did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was my second year.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was good.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Now, tell me, what made you want to write this particular book? What was that thought that said, wow, you know what? I think this would be a great story for people to be able to know and learn about.
Yeah. What happened was when I first started working at the White House, I said, one day I'm going to write a book.
Okay. Okay.
To make a long story short, in 2013, I was diagnosed with kidney cancer.
Okay. Okay.
And I went through that for over a year, and in 2014 I had the surgery. There was a mass on my kidney the size of an orange.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I was in surgery for 8 hours. And once I came out of that, I called Janice Kearney. She was the diatrist for President Clinton.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I said I would like to write my memoir because, again, my life flashed before me.
Yeah.
And that inspired me to move forward to write the book. I had a lot of the knowledge and I knew what I wanted to write and how I wanted to write it. And then so I reached out to her and we worked on this for over a year.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. That is,
All right. Yes. So over that year you worked on it, we have people who watch the show. They are book lovers and then some are aspiring authors.
Right.
And so give them, those that are aspiring authors, give them a little peek into what that year looked like in terms of actually coming from what was in here to producing this. Right?
Yes.
What did that look like for you?
It started out, and I tell everybody, we all have a story.
Yes.
It's just what do you want to write?
Yes.
That's what you try to do.
Absolutely.
And so what I did, I said, okay, I wanted people to know where I was from and the job that I did and how I got my job.
okay.
That's what started me on my trail.
Yeah.
To say, hey, I'm from Toledo, Ohio, and I came into the military. And then I was at the right place at the right time to get the job working at the White House as a chauffeur at that time.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. And so I started traveling, and I started saying, man, people would like to know. Some people never been to Moscow. Some people never been to South Africa or China. I've walked the Great Wall of China. I've seen the pyramids. I've been on 6 of the 7 continents. I've been to all 50 states. I can't tell you.
You want to talk about some stories? Wow,
adventure.
that is phenomenal.
I've met Nelson Mandela, and things like that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a great adventure for me.
Wow.
And I wanted people to know that.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about this, and this will be good for those authors, as the aspiring authors, as well as those that are interested in the story. What was your writing process? Now, when you first started working for the White House, did you start journaling? Was it something that you journaled to kind of keep the information, or was it just something where you just all of a sudden, okay, I kind of think I need to, because I may eventually want to, write something, or did you just kind of take the memories that you have and start to formulate the book that you have?
With me, it was more memory.
Okay.
Because a lot of military people, what we do, when we hear music, we know where we were at that time.
Okay.
So with me, it was a lot of memory of where I was and what I was doing at that time.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But for inspiring authors, I would say jot down different things as you go along. You know, because it's a lot easier. Everybody don't have a mind like that.
That's true too, right?
Right.
And I would think too, with the military, you all are kind of trained to, you all have to be very, kind of memory oriented with things. I mean, you talking about you out, out and doing certain things, or where was I and what was I doing, all those intricate details about stuff. So
kind of like when Marvin Gaye got shot, I was in South Korea.
Oh wow!
So things like that. When you hear different music, you know where you were. So it's that type of memory. Yes,
that is awesome.
It is. So talk to me. This is a two-part question.
Okay.
Talk to both of us about your greatest joy in writing the book and your greatest challenge.
My greatest joy in writing the book was giving my family something that they could remember me by. My three sons. So they would know what I'd done because they were young at the time. They kind of remember going to the White House, being on Air Force One, and meeting the president and things like that. But they were young at that time. This way I wanted them to have something that they could treasure for the rest of their life. And on down the line with my family. So people would know. The greatest challenge is, and this is what I want everybody to remember, when you're writing a book that's personal in nature, you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So you have to be careful about when you're talking about family and things like that. That was the greatest challenge.
Absolutely.
And it's great that you mentioned that, because some of my clients that I have, they write their personal stories. And one of the conversations that we have is about talking about when it incorporates other people as a part of your story.
Exactly.
And I suggest to them, I said, understand, you're going to go back to that time when you're writing about all of these things that you're writing. I said, but also the individuals that you are talking about too, you kind of want to make them aware. Not saying that you got to change the story or anything, but I let them know, you should make them aware that you are writing a story, you're all writing your story, and I emphasize your story. I said, as long as it's accurate, as long as you aren't making up things about individuals and stuff like that. I said, because you don't want to offend anybody, but at the same time, you do want to make sure that you want to include it, because you want to be authentic. You want to be authentic.
My family, they were a big part in me doing this also. My two sisters and my mother and my brother. A big part, and they're all included in the book.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, I want you to be sure that you give your contact information if folks want to buy the book, if they want to invite you out as a guest speaker. How can they do that?
They can go to my website, which is gwpowell.com. And they can leave me a message on there, and it's also a phone number that they can reach me at. And I'd like to give a shout out to Miss Ella Curry, my publicist. She's great. She's great. I love her. She's been promoting my book, and it's been doing very good.
Awesome.
Yes.
And I was sharing, and I just have to say this, a shout out to Miss Ella. She is just a legend. She really is. I was sharing, I said, even before Facebook was really popular, Miss Ella had her own social platform showcasing, authors. And
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yep. And then also my publisher, Miss Janice Kearney. Of Wow Publishing. She is awesome. I love her to death. She was President Clinton's diatrist. So she helped me with this book, and she done an excellent job. Yes.
Now, Lynn, you said you had a second part to your question.
That was the two parts. His joy, his greatest joy, and his greatest challenge.
Absolutely. Now, I want to ask this question to you. Now, most authors aren't writing something as special as what you're writing about. They aren't in the position that you were in to write about. I mean, you're talking about the government for one, but the kind of like the echelon of the government. Now, how did you have to take that into consideration when you were writing the story? And then also, what did that process look like for you? Because I know a lot of people they just think, oh, okay, he just wrote a book. No, you can't just write a book, something like this. If you could just talk just a little bit about that process of having to go through that.
Mine was not as difficult because, again, I was using Janice Kearney. And she's the president. She was the presidential diatrist. She knows what we can and cannot write about. So my process was not that hard. Not that hard at all. And it's all positive. Everything in here is positive.
Awesome. Talk a little bit about some of your reader response.
Oh, I've been getting
Yes.
5 stars on Amazon.
Okay.
It's been going great. Like I said, Miss Ella, she has been promoting my book, and it's been selling. I tell you, I've been doing great.
Absolutely.
I also want to give a shout out to my wife, the
Yes.
Stone, the Rock. 'Cause I tell you, over the year, we went through this book about 10 times,
Did
you?
editing. It was her.
All right.
Great.
And she said more than dinner.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's always with me. That's my rock.
Yes.
Yes.
And that is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
It really is. It really is. And
Yes.
I actually want you to talk a little bit about that. And you hit on it earlier when you talked about how important it is that your family
Yes.
were a part of this process.
Yes.
And I just want you to talk a little bit more about that, because I think oftentimes when authors get into this, they think, I'm just going to do this. And like you said, if you're writing your story, it's
Right.
still going to impact your family
Right,
members.
absolutely.
And just, just talk a little bit about how you were able to fold them in.
Yes. Well, what I started doing once I started writing, I started sending things to my family for them to read and for them to look at and say, hey, is this okay? And I let them include their words in the book.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So I made sure they were a part of the book.
Okay.
And then again, we would go through the different editing and say, oh, no, I don't think we need to say that.
Yeah.
I think we need to say it this way.
Right.
Yeah, so again, everybody was happy with the final product.
Yes.
Yes, it's not easy though.
It's not, and I'm
No.
so glad that you offered that suggestion, because oftentimes when people are writing, they don't think to do that.
Right.
And
Exactly.
that's an awesome process
Yes,
to be able
yes.
to pull your family members and say, hey, why don't you take a look at this for me?
Yes.
What you
Because
think
when
about
somebody else reads this, they think something different than you.
Yes.
Because again, reading and writing is 2 different things.
Absolutely.
And I tell everyone that
Yep.
it's
Yes.
2 totally different things.
Absolutely.
And particularly when it comes to family members.
Exactly. we love you, but we want to make sure you're happy.
Absolutely. Now, for someone who is a reader, our readers that are tuned in, what is the message that you want them to come away with from reading this book? When the person reads that last page, that last chapter, what do you want them to come away from this book thinking, knowing, understanding?
The whole inspiration is for you to come away saying, I can also do this.
Yes.
That's what it's a positive message saying, yes, my life started here, but I went to here.
Yes.
You can also do this. And that's what I want people to get away from this book. And a lot of people have been telling me it's an excellent read. And again, I have to thank my wife for that. Because she's an avid reader. So, she said, this reads good. And I've been getting a lot of positives about that.
So it's got her stamp of approval.
It does.
And we know that is the most important.
It is. I tell anybody, it is. That's right.
So this seems like this particular book would also be very good for organizations that might be working with young males.
Yes,
And
for sure.
Can you talk a little bit about why?
Yes, because again, when you're young, you don't know what you want to do and how to approach it and things like that. This can offer you that. This can give you a guide on what you should do and how you should go about getting what you want.
Gotcha.
Right, because again, I want to be a positive role model, and that's why I wanted this book to be very positive. So people can see, okay, I grew up here, but I got to here. I never thought in my wildest dreams that I'd be working at the White House for 3 presidents and being on Air Force One. That never occurred to me, but somebody told me, that's your destiny. Yeah, it was meant to be.
And that's an important thing too for young men out here in this day and age to see positive men doing positive things, and the power that we have with our message and being able to pour into them. And like you said, giving them the understanding, wow, that I can do that. This is something that I can aspire to. This is something that I can do because I see somebody who's already done it.
Right.
That's an awesome message.
And can I even say that this is something that's important for young ladies to see?
Yes, it is.
Because oftentimes in this age, young ladies aren't seeing that positive male image.
Yes.
And so I would even go a step further, that for you to also talk a little bit about why an organization who works with young ladies
Yes.
should want to particularly take advantage of reading this book as well.
Yes, this would
Yes.
definitely inspire a young lady to see how to go about, again, what she would need to do in this world, and where she could go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely come speak to any organization at any time. Please contact me.
Give your contact information.
It is gwpowell.com, and the phone number is there. And you can reach me also by glennwpowell@aol.com, and I'm also on Facebook. G. Glenn W. Powell, author.
Leroy, where does the time go?
I know it always, and that's one of the things that I enjoy just about not just the Christian Authors on TV show, but our Blog Talk show as well. It goes by so quickly because it's like just having a conversation with one of your friends that you oh man, what you up to? What you been up to? And those things, and it goes by so quickly. So we want to again thank you for coming and talking to our audience just about you, your message, and like I said, your book that you have out, and being able to be an inspiration to not just all other authors, but also those that will take the opportunity to purchase the book, read the book, and be poured into and be better. And I always look at it like this: be better after they read your book than they were before they read your book.
That's right. That's right. And we want to thank you for tuning in to the Christian Authors on Tour CAOT TV show. We are here every Friday on the WBGR Gospel Network, 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you miss us live, you can watch reruns on YouTube, or you can catch us on the caotv.blogspot.com. And until next time, right?
Absolutely.
God bless everybody. And remember, October 14th, we want to see you at introducing the Ladies of Christian Authors on Tour literary event. For more information, visit us online at www.christianauthorsontour.com. See you next time.